Welcome back, everybody. Yeah, I know it's been a while, but we're back for more Nancy Drew. This time we're going to be playing Last Train to Blue Moon Canyon. This one's one of the fan favorites. In a poll I saw recently, this one was like in the top 3 of all-time favorite Nancy Drew games. So yeah, let's get started here. You'll have to excuse me if I'm a little low energy today. I'm just getting over being sick, but I'm feeling better today. And had a few hours at home. And I was like, well, I could, take a nap or something. And I was like, oh, or I could play some Nancy Drew. That'd be fun. So here we are. Yeah, I got my note paper ready. Like usual, if we're gonna try to finish this in 3 hours or less, this one might be tricky, because this one tends to run a little longer. Although that's mostly for first-time playthroughs. I'm pretty familiar with this one, so I should be able to get through it a lot quicker. But we'll see. We might end up only doing part of it today. I also don't know when my family's going to be back, so that'll depend on how long I end up going. But yeah, let's just get into it and see how it goes.
Welcome to my latest case, Last Train to Blue Moon Canyon. To start, choose Junior or Senior Detective. If you're new to adventure games or need some help, click on Tutorial.
Normally I would do Senior, but I don't know. I feel like just for the sake of time... Yeah, I want to just have my task list. I don't want to have to look up stuff.
Dear Hannah, here I am at the railroad station along with a handful of other detectives about to board a train bound for who knows where. The only person who knows where we're going is Lori Gerard. That's the young woman who invited everyone. Actually, she didn't really invite me. She invited Frank and Joe Hardy, and they invited me. And I've always wanted to join forces with the Hardy Boys. I just hope this doesn't turn out to be another one of Lori's silly attempts to grab publicity. Some people can be a little too rich and a little too famous for their own good. Wish me luck. Love, Nancy.
Well, people, now that our little orientation tour is over, let's get started. Okay, I, again, am Lori Gerard, and the first thing I want to do is thank you all for coming. John Gray. I am so thrilled that you're taking time out from that TV show of yours to do some ghost hunting here with us. I mean, Ghost Chasers is like the best cable show ever. And Charlena Purcell. I cannot tell you how much I adore those romance novels you write. Your characters just seem so real.
Don't bother me.
And all that stuff you know about the Old West, you are just awesome. And Tino Balducci. Only the most famous police detective in the country. And then there's Frank and Joe Hardy. They're amateur detectives. My dad and their dad are old friends. And you must be the other amateur detective, their friend? Natalie?
Nancy Drew?
Whatever. All right. I'll bet you're wondering where we're going.
He's supposed to be behind John Gray there, but I don't see it.
We're going to Concord Gorge, Colorado. Why? To solve the mystery of what happened to Jake Hurley, the man who originally owned this train. Because see, one day in 1903, this train was found in a place called Blue Moon Canyon, which was out in the middle of the Nevada desert. Only the engineer was on board, and he was dead. As for Jake Hurley, he had disappeared from the face of the earth. Oh, and 2 more things. Before he disappeared, Jake was rumored to have found the richest gold mine in the world. And the train he owned, this train, his wife Camille died on it while they were going to the gold fields. It was rumored to be haunted.
Oh, no.
She's gone.
Oh my gosh.
What in the world?
What the?
Hey, what's going on?
People should never go tampering with things they don't understand.
Oh, brother.
It's okay. Everybody just stay calm. No need to panic. I'll get to the bottom of this.
Well, Nancy, you're up on all that social etiquette stuff. What are you supposed to do when your hostess vanishes into thin air?
Good question, Joe.
If I don't seem concerned, it's because I'm not. Laurie Gerard is a young woman whose only goal in life is to be famous. She craves attention and habitually uses her father's considerable wealth to get it.
How well do you know her?
I don't really know her, I just know of her. The only reason I accepted her invitation was because I've come across the name Jake Hurley several times in my research, and this seemed like a good opportunity to learn more about him. What was your name again?
Nancy Drew. You and I have actually met. Sort of. I called you not too long ago when I was at Shadow Ranch. You gave me some information about Dirk Valentine.
Ah, Nancy Drew.
You don't remember me, do you?
No.
What else do you know about Jake Hurley?
Nancy! Come here.
Excuse me for a second.
I think you better talk to those two friends of yours before you talk to me.
Fine. I'm just going to tell my friends to be patient. I'm talking to somebody, but I guess not. This here. We'll get to that in a minute.
Hey, Nance.
Where have you two been?
I followed Tino Balducci.
And I went after John Gray. He went straight to the room in the car that used to be Camille's and didn't come out again. I could hear all these weird noises coming from inside.
Any idea what he was doing?
I was just about to go in, but the next thing I know, Joe's got my arm in a vice grip and is dragging me back here, babbling about how Balducci's our guy.
He found something on the floor right where Laurie was standing when the train went dark. I saw him pick it up and put it in his pocket. Then he left.
Did you ask him about it?
When I tried to talk to him, he just kind of brushed me aside and said something snotty like, "I'm on the job here, Junior, so just go back to the playground and stay out of the way." In case you two hadn't noticed, we're not getting a lot of respect around here. Can't we at least tell Balducci that we do stuff for ATAC?
You know the rules.
ATAC?
American Teens Against Crime. We do a lot of undercover work for them.
Wonder Cop's probably never even been undercover.
Joe, let it go. What'd Charlena have to say?
She thinks Laurie is faking this whole disappearance thing.
She's not the only one.
How can you say that? You heard Laurie scream.
Anybody can scream, Joe. Especially girls whose fathers have given them acting lessons along with everything else they've ever wanted.
What about you, Nancy? What do you think?
I kind of agree with Frank.
You've got to be kidding.
Do you think maybe one of Laurie's other guests is in on her disappearance?
It's certainly possible.
From the way she talked, it didn't sound like she knew any of them.
Maybe that's what she wanted us to think.
Or maybe that's what one of them wanted her to think.
Well, whether Laurie disappeared
does
by
that mean,
force or by
Joe?
choice, what we've got to do now is find her.
Absolutely.
Has anyone talked to the engineer?
Not that I know of.
Then I'm going to head up front and tell him what's happened. Maybe he knows something we don't.
Good idea. In the meantime, we'll take another look around in here.
Great. Catch you later. Pretty. Looks like some kind of gemstone.
So they can tell Nancy that they work for ATAC, but they can't tell Tino? Like, okay. Not that I really care. I think Tino's kind of a jerk, as you'll soon see, but...
Engineer, what do you want?
Hello, I'm one of the passengers, and I just thought you should know that Laurie Gerard has disappeared.
So?
Did you know she was going to disappear?
Hey, all I know is I take orders from Miss Gerard, okay? Right now my orders are to get this train to Copper Gorge non-stop. And until Miss Gerard tells me otherwise, that's what I'm gonna do.
But Laurie may not even be on the train anymore.
Look, Miss Gerard may not be a rocket scientist or anything, but even she knows better than to jump off a moving train.
But...
Now, if you'll excuse me, I got me a train to run. Engineer,
Hi.
is this Miss Gerard?
Yeah, this is Laurie.
Nice try. I'm busy up here, now quit bothering me.
A square and a duck.
To me, that looks like a duck at a lemonade stand. If you know, you know.
Looks like some sort of steam valve. Uh-oh, that doesn't look good.
Okay, we won't blow up the train.
This door goes outside. Opening it now would not be a good idea.
Come on, Nancy, let a little. Flippy fins. fresh from a hand from the deep. That's a clue that might help us later.
It looks like there's something behind this painting, but I can't seem to move it.
Eagle.
Sadie Crawford.
Now, this is going to be important. I'm going to write it down. I'll just use the other side of the sheet, I guess. Alright. Sadie Crawford. 2 left feet. There's a puzzle with dolls that we'll have to do later. That
What have you got?
See you in a bit.
If you need anything, just let us know.
Yes?
What are you working on?
I'm writing my next book. I'm on a deadline, so until I write those 2 most wonderful of all 3-letter words, the end, everywhere I go, my laptop goes, and every chance I get, I write.
Why do you think Lori invited you on this trip?
No doubt because I'm such an authority on life in the Old West, and because I'm so good at using old information to unearth new information. My knack for research is, well, it's a gift.
What else do you know about Jake Hurley? You know, the man who originally owned this train?
Wealthy, imaginative, adventurous, stubborn, egocentric, and most importantly, he was smitten at the age of 35 by a young French woman named Camille Voulet, who died about a year after they were married.
Where was he from?
East Coast, Philadelphia, I think. His parents were British aristocrats. Sometime in the 1870s, he decided to seek his fortune out west, so he had this train custom built so that he, and some years later his wife, could traverse the mountains and plains in relative comfort.
Where did he meet Camille?
I don't know that. The circumstances surrounding her passing are a bit of a mystery, too. All anyone knows for sure is that years after Camille's death, he showed up in Denver with a pouch full of gold nuggets and semi-precious stones, which he used to purchase mining supplies. He refused to say how he'd come by them, which of course led to speculation that he had found a fantastically rich vein somewhere, although to this day, its existence remains unsubstantiated and its location quite unknown.
I should get going.
My publisher thanks you.
Let's go explore the rest of the train.
Another gemstone.
Hey, Ridman. Glad you could join us. Just getting started. Yeah, this is a fun one, isn't it? One goes here, I think. Oops. It's gonna go. Nope. Like that. Hey, Gordolf. Not much. What's up with you? Just playing some Nancy Drew. There we go.
Left pickaxe and lamp with buhl for safekeeping. To open what's closed, lead is the key. Or is it lead is the key?
Interesting. Fun fact for you, the rock band Led Zeppelin, they were originally going to spell their band name L-E-A-D, but they decided if they did that it would be too confusing on whether it would be pronounced lead or lead, so that's why they took the A out. So it's just L-E-D Zeppelin.
This must have been the sleeping car.
Probably still is, Nancy. I would assume this is where everybody on the trip is sleeping. I mean, I assume Charlena doesn't sleep with her laptop. Tale of Two Dolls. Ill-tempered Edna could not get her way. She couldn't get Alice to come out and play. I can't. I'm too tired, is what Alice said. I just want to go straight back to bed. I know how you feel. Edna angrily tried to make herself heard, but all that came out was one two-part word. Why, I'm not your mother, yawning Alice replied, till Edna the Terrible finally gave up and cried. So this is another doll clue. That's actually two clues in one. So they refer to the one as Edna the Terrible. So it says when Edna tried to talk, she couldn't say anything except one two-part word. And then when she does, Alice says, I'm not your mother. So that hint is that Edna the Terrible is a doll that says, Mama. And then the other one is Yawning Alice. She is always tired. This will make a lot more sense after we actually find these dolls later.
I need 4 numbers to unlock this, and there's, what, 10,000 possible combinations? Guessing could take me a while.
Let's see. Let's do the math on that, Nancy. If there's 10 times 10 times 10 times 10. Oh. Yeah, that is actually correct, Nancy. There are 10,000 different possible combinations. What do you think, chat? Should I do it?
Better not mess with that puppy.
Nice. So that's the e-brake. Yeah, maybe putting your face 6 inches away while you pull it was not a good idea, Nancy. Let's talk to this suspect, Mr. Ghost Hunter.
Hi, you're that Nancy person. How you doing? John Gray.
It's a pleasure to meet you. I've seen your TV show.
Then I don't have to explain what I'm doing.
Oh, heck no. Why, you're measuring the who'sy-whatsism with your trusty gizmometrometer thing.
Right now I'm taking time-lapse electromagnetic readings and
Nancy.
recording background noise. This was Camille's private car. If she had something to do with Laurie's disappearance, analyzing these readings may give me a clue as to Laurie's whereabouts.
Are you saying that Camille's ghost kidnapped Laurie?
What to most people are ghosts are actually temporary distortions in local electromagnetic fields caused by the presence of residual psychic energy generated by the person or persons who frequented that particular locale. That's my working theory, at least.
That's a little hard to swallow.
It's all very scientific. But the fact is, Laurie's missing, and I, for one, am doing everything in my power to find her. The vibes I'm getting make me think she could be in serious trouble.
You don't think Tino Balducci will be able to track her down?
I doubt it. In fact, I kind of feel sorry for the guy. After catching those bank robbers, he can't just be a good cop anymore. He's got to be a great cop. Tough to perform under that kind of pressure.
What's your opinion of Charlena Purcell?
Charlena Purcell writes romance novels. End of comment.
Is Laurie a friend of yours?
First time I met her was when I boarded this train with all the rest of you. I knew her by reputation, of course, like everyone else who reads the tabloids. It doesn't appear that anyone aboard this train is her friend.
Maybe she doesn't have any friends.
Wouldn't be surprised. Maybe you can be too rich after all.
I'll let you get back to work.
Goodbye.
You know, Gordolph, I'm always down for some chicky-do. Let's see, what else we got in here? Ooh,
This looks like some sort of game.
how observant, Nancy.
Nothing happens. I'll bet I have to wind it up first.
Okay, well, I spoke too soon.
I did it! Wonder what's in here.
Camptown races. Well, that should be handy for something. Ooh. A coin or something?
The Little Book of Samplers.
Okay, this is going to be important, so I'm going to take a photo of this page. Pew. All right. Let's see.
Teddy Eberhardt.
Krollmeister. Thank you for giving the doll we call Teddy Eberhardt a home. Krollmeister Dollworks. Teddy Eberhardt. The clue for this one is actually the packaging, because Teddy Eberhardt is also wearing this plaid color. And again, there's not really a way you would have known that unless you've played this game before, which I have not
What
played
shall
this
I
game
play?
before, but, well, fancy that, Nancy. You just got some music.
Don't do that, please. Those microphones I set up over there are very sensitive. You just about took out my eardrums. You can play that thing when I'm done. I'll let you know when that is, all right?
Okay.
Nancy, please don't. Don't even think about it. Don't even think about it.
Okay, fine. Jeez. Trying to liven up the joint.
Sickly Sarah caught a germ so new, it made one of her pretty green eyes turn blue.
Sickly Sarah. Heterochromia. Is it technically still... Whoa. What are you doing, game? That was weird. I'm gonna save my game, just in case. Is it technically still heterochromia if it's, you know, caused by sickness and not by natural causes? Although, honestly, I doubt that that could actually happen because of getting sick, but you never know. Saw the piano, saw that. It's probably Jake. That's probably, well, probably Ruth Kensington.
It's locked. Looks like Camille was teaching herself how to play the piano.
If I'd played this game about a year ago, I probably would have needed that sheet.
Thomasina O'Neill.
Another doll. Blue ribbon. So far we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I think we need 6 more dolls. There's a lot of them.
Looks like some kind of sewing sampler. I wonder if there's a relationship between those symbols and those numbers.
There probably is, Nancy. That would be my guess. Get my blanket out of here. also take a picture of this, because I'm pretty sure this is going to come in handy. At a later point in time. Oh, and there's another doll. Right, we don't have that one? Yeah, Awful Ursula. Awful Ursula is red hair, I guess. Okay.
Hello?
Nancy, hi, it's me.
Hi, Bess.
And me.
Hey, George, what's up?
Bess and
What's
George.
up? You're the one who's on the train with a bunch of famous people. You tell us. This is torture, Nancy. I'm dying of curiosity here. Bess, just calm down. Oh, like you're not just as curious as I am. She's the one who insisted we call you Nancy. Only because you're driving me crazy. I'm supposed to be helping her paint her room, but every other brushstroke, she's like, where do you think she is now? How do you think the Hardy Boys are doing? Why do you think she hasn't called? What do you think Laurie Gerard is wearing? Oh, George, that is so not true. I could care less what Laurie Gerard is wearing. So come on, Nancy. You're on a train full of famous people bound for who knows where. So dish already, would ya? Bess, calm down. Look what you did. You got paint in my hair. I'm sorry. You know, actually, that looks kind of cool. Nice try, Bess. No, really. You're just saying that because you're afraid I'll bail and you'll wind up having to paint this dump all by yourself. George, I kid you not. You should seriously think about doing some major highlights in that color.
What color is it?
Adobe beige.
Nice try, Bess.
What's going on, Nan?
Catch you later.
I don't really feel like talking
Well,
right
George, back to work.
now. No offense to you, lovely ladies, but I got a mystery to solve here, and I'm on a time limit.
Hey, Nancy, right?
You've got a better memory than our hostess.
Who doesn't? Amateur detective, huh? Ever thought about becoming a real detective? You know, like me?
Well, I don't know. Do you like what you do?
I love it. You, heard about those bank robberies I solved, right?
Yes, I sure did.
Baffling case. Two-man team at 17 banks in 3 states in 5 days. FBI had no idea who the perps were. But after forcing their vehicle to a stop, confronting them, despite the fact that they were armed and giving chase, I single-handedly made the collar.
I heard all they had was a plastic knife from a carry-out chicken place.
You heard wrong. You see, Nancy, when somebody does something really remarkable in this country, the first thing everybody
does
else does
sound
is
like
try
someone
to
else we know,
tear him
doesn't he?
down. Reporters, late-night comedians, even some of my fellow officers.
Big
all have been
Derwin
spreading
energy.
vicious lies about me. Why? Because they've never done anything remarkable in their sorry little lives, and they're jealous. Anyway, you should look around in here. Lots of interesting stuff. This was Jake's private car, you know.
So, what do you think happened to Laurie?
She could have been kidnapped. She could have been tossed off the train. She could be hiding from us. But I obviously won't know which until I've gathered all the facts.
So, you're gathering facts?
Of course, it may not look it because that's my style. I'm a low-key kind of guy. But hey, don't worry. I'll know the facts when I know the facts. The truth can't be rushed, you know.
Have you had a chance to talk to Charlena Purcell?
Now, why would I want to do a thing like that?
What about John Gray?
The ghost guy? Total quack. Only reason I talked to him would be to arrest him for fraud.
I understand that you found something on the floor in the dining car.
Yeah, at first I thought it was an old coin, but it turned out to be some kind of slug.
Do you think it had anything to do with Laurie's disappearance?
Nah, probably been lying there for 100 years. May have served a purpose back then, but now, worthless.
May I see it?
Sure, in fact, here, keep it. Wear it around your neck or something. That way, when people ask you where you got it, you can tell them Tino Balducci gave it to you. The Tino Balducci.
Oh, thank you.
What else can I do for you?
It's been great talking to you.
Anything for a fellow detective.
Boy, what an interesting character.
Wonder what Jake used this for. Another gemstone.
on gemstones. That'll come in handy.
Camille with Hager Anderson and Chantilly Hildegard.
Here's two more. Hagar Anderson and Chantilly. I'm not gonna write all that. Hildegard. It looks like they are. The boy has suspenders. And the girl has. Well, it's hard to tell. Braids and a dress, I guess. The nice thing about this puzzle, though, is that we can get, even if we only get like 11 of them, we can just figure out which one's the last one by process of elimination. So 1, 2, 6, 8, 9. So we have 9, so we need 3 more clues.
Looks like an old-fashioned cigar box. Wonder why it's locked. And what does AG mean?
Well, Nancy, AG probably means, where'd it go? Silver. So I'll have to look for something for that. Leaping lizards.
JH. For Jake Hurley, obviously. Must be Jake's insignia.
Oh, that pipe's was my favorite.
There, all done.
Nice.
Another gemstone.
Oh, it's like a bar of soap.
Eliza Sandberger.
Okay, another doll. Price of $3.73. Chromeblaster doll with decorative red ribbon. Okay, red ribbon. Cool.
An old scale. Strange. It seems to be built into the wall. Those symbols look like the ones I saw in that sampler.
Indeed they do, Nancy. So let's refer back to our photo. Okay, so the first symbol is owl. Owl is 7. So, okay, there's this, 7. Then cherries is 10.
That square and that duck look very familiar.
Indeed they do. Waddle, waddle. Okay. Another slug.
Silver. What do all those colors have to do with silver?
Orange, blue, green, red, purple, yellow. I know exactly where we're going to use that.
Looks like to make this thing, whatever it is, I'm going to need a spyglass, a pickaxe, and a lamp. Citrine, amethyst, zircon. Those are all gemstones, I think.
Amethyst, zircon, peridot. Tiger eye. Tourmaline. So I'll go back and figure out which of those are which. We also had something with a doll accidentally knocked. So this is my naughty Tina. Naughty Tina is cracked. 6, 8, 9, 10, 11. Is that crack? Naughty Tina's face. Order another one. Okay. So now we're just missing one doll hint. Thank you. What's all this then?
Jake said a pickaxe goes here.
Good Lord.
I need a lamp. I need a spyglass.
Okay. Glad you read those
According to that
instructions.
diagram I found, those 6 gemstones are supposed to go in these 6 holders, but I have no idea which one goes where.
Okay, so let's see. We've got starfish. That's a hoof, I guess. And we have a fin. Played the John Boyega. Beak. A tentacle, I guess. And oh, well, that's a hoof. So what was the other one then? Oh, okay. Yeah, see, I always miss the brown part on this because it's like the same color as the background. So that's like a, you know, a bird claw. Talon, is that that's the name for it? Okay. Alright, so those are the things on there that we need to figure out.
Wonder what's supposed to go here.
That door of the Explorer codes. Alright, let's do this. Dang it. I'm losing it. Okay, come on, focus. This one, that one. No. This one, this. There we go. Whew. We did it, chat. And in the next room, we find...
Lori?
Oh my gosh! I never thought you'd be the one to find me. No offense. Nadine?
Nancy. Nancy Drew.
Well, as you can see, I wasn't really spirited away by ghosts or anything. That bookshelf in the dining car, you step on this thing in the floor in there, and it slides open. I practiced disappearing for weeks.
Was anyone else in on the trick?
Just the engineer, and all he did was keep his mouth shut. See, here's the deal. My dad wound up with this train when he bought out Noram Shipping. They'd been storing it in this old warehouse outside St. Louis for so long that everybody had just forgotten about it. Anyway, after like mass begging on my part, Dad had the train restored to working condition and got me an engineer and track permits and all that other stuff until finally, here we are, on our way to find out what happened to Jake Hurley.
Why do you need a train to find out what happened to him?
Well, see, I was one of the first people in like 100 years to set foot on this train, okay? Everything was just the way it was when Jake disappeared. Except I also found this. It's a letter that Jake wrote in 1901 to his niece back east. He was real paranoid about claim jumpers, which is why he never told anyone where his mine was. But he was also afraid something would happen to him and no one would ever know where it was. So he wrote this letter to his only living relative, Ruth Kensington. Here, take it.
You want me to have it? Why?
Because you found me. See, in that letter, Jake tells Ruth that everything she needs to figure out where his mine is on this train. He also warns her that his wife's spirit is on the train too, which kind of creeps me out. But the thing is, to find Jake's lost mine, we need the train.
How do you know this Ruth person didn't find the mine decades ago?
Mostly because I found that letter in the wastebasket. It was like she'd gotten so ticked off, trying to follow her nutty uncle's clues, that she finally said to heck with the whole thing.
What about the other people you invited on this trip?
If you want to show them that letter, go ahead. It's totally up to you. We're going to Copper Gorge because that's where Jake buried Camille, so I figured his mine might be somewhere around there too. But if you think we need to go somewhere else, you just let me know and I'll have the engineer take us there.
How well do you know your guests?
Well, I don't know you or those Harvey guys at all.
Hardy. Frank and Joe Hardy.
Whatever. I didn't know John Gray before this either, but I love his show, and I figured he'd jump at the chance to investigate an honest-to-goodness haunted train, and now that someone has finally found me, I can finally go meet him for real.
What about Tino Balducci?
I met Tino right after he got famous for solving those robberies. Inviting him here for this was a no-brainer. I mean, what an awesome detective. And those piercing eyes of his, you just know his mind's in there going 90 miles an hour.
How well do you know Charlena Purcell?
I just know her from her books, which are so good. In fact, I just started reading her latest one, The Moon Tells No Lies. See, what I'd really like to do is write romance novels. Everybody who knows me says I'd be really good at it. In fact, a while back, I sent Charlena some ideas, you know, just to see what she thought.
And?
She hated them.
Guess I better get to work.
Keep me posted.
Another delightful person.
Looks like a dance floor, maybe? Strange-looking tool. I wonder what it's for. Locked, naturally. I wonder how you open it.
There we go. Thank you.
Wonder what Jake used this for. That could be one of the gems I need. Maybe Tino will let me take a closer look. That could be one of the gems I need. Maybe Tino will let me take a closer look.
Well, it's the little lady detective. What do you need?
I found Lori. She was hiding in the caboose.
Oh, yeah?
She disappeared because she wanted to see who'd find her first, which is why she left that clue behind.
That slug? I mean, I knew that slug was a clue. That's why I gave it to you. I mean, I could have found Lori no sweat, but I thought, hey, why not give somebody else a shot? And you came through. Nice job.
Thank you.
But look, from now on, if you come across anything that may have something to do with Jake Hurley and his mind, let me know, okay? Just so I can, give you advice, help you sort things out. After all, the opportunity to work side by side with a world-famous police detective doesn't come along every day, you know.
Do you think I could take a closer look at that cougar statue?
What, that cigar clipper? Go ahead, take a look.
I'll bet I need this stone to build that thing in the diagram I found. But if I remove it now, Tina will know I'm onto something. Interesting. I just wanted to get a good look at it, that's all.
What else can I do for you?
What do you think happened to Jake Hurley?
He probably died trying to work that mine of his all by himself. But I'll let you in on a secret. I'm onto something that could crack this case wide open.
What did you find?
Sorry, can't go into detail. Let's just say that thanks to yours truly, what happened to Jake Hurley won't be a mystery much longer.
You've been a big help.
Not a problem.
What's up?
I found Lori safe and sound in the caboose, so I guess those vibes you got about her being in serious trouble were wrong.
Strange. My vibes are never wrong. What's even stranger is I'm still getting them. So maybe they're not about Lori. Maybe they're about you.
I'm confused. Are you a scientist or a psychic?
I happen to be both. What's commonly referred to as psychic phenomena is all a matter of energy. Just because we don't know where that energy is generated or how to measure it yet, doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. Trust me, either you or Lori is, or soon will be, in big trouble.
No offense, but I don't believe you.
Don't say I didn't warn you.
I won't keep you any longer.
Take care.
Nancy ain't got time for this BS. Nice countryside going past. Yoink.
Yes?
I found Lori. She's in the caboose. You were right. She disappeared because she wanted to see which of us would find her first.
And you won. Congratulations.
The others on the train, John Gray and that police detective, do you know them very well?
I don't know them at all. Needless to say, I don't watch television, so I've never even seen Mr. Gray before. Although I do know that his profession, if you can call it that, is rife with crackpots. As for Mr. Balducci, from what I've read, his success in solving those robberies was less a matter of talent and more a matter of being in the right place at precisely the right time.
In other words, you don't think he deserves all the attention he's getting?
No. You and those two Boy Scouts you're with would make better detectives.
Oh, thank you.
Is that all, dear?
Well, I'll let you go.
Let me know if you run across anything juicy.
Speaking of juicy, yeah, this is an optional side thing that won't happen unless you click on this specific picture.
Is this Jake and his wife?
Yes. From what I've read, Camille loved to sing and dance, even in death, apparently. Jake reportedly told people that after she died, he would sometimes see strange glowing lights outside the windows at night, bobbing gracefully alongside the train as if dancing with it. He said he found the sight very comforting. I suspect normal people would have found it terrifying.
Probably.
Hey, Nancy,
What's with the Cheshire Cat grin?
you found Lori.
Yep, she's holed up in the caboose, and as a reward for finding her, she let me have this. It's a letter from Jake to his niece in which he leaves clues telling her how to find his mine. only the clues are extremely obtuse.
You found Lori, you got the letter with all the clues. Guess you don't need us anymore.
Oh, Joe, quit pouting. Want any help?
Are you kidding? You bet I do.
Now you're talking.
Balducci wants me to share everything I find out about Jake Hurley with him.
I'll bet he does.
He just doesn't want you to show him up again.
Yeah, he wants you to do all the legwork so at the last minute, bam, he can swoop in and grab all the credit.
I wouldn't tell him a thing, Nance.
Unless it's to get lost.
It stands to reason that the only person other than Jake who had to have known the location of Jake's mine was the engineer on Jake's train.
Very true.
Not necessarily. Jake might not have told him the exact location. Maybe he just had him drop him off somewhere nearby.
Well, still, we'd be way ahead of the game if we knew where that drop-off point was.
It would be nice to know his name.
The guy died more than 100 years ago. How are we supposed to find out his name?
Maybe Charlena What's-Her-Face could tell us how to go about it.
Good idea, Frank. I'll ask her. I found a diagram for some kind of contraption that Jake designed, but to operate it, you need his pickaxe and some kind of lamp or lantern, which it looks like he gave to somebody named Buell.
Buell? Joe, show her!
Show her what?
That old picture we found!
Okay.
We found this on the bookshelf. See? Buell's Supplies and Pawn Shop. That's gotta be the same Buell Jake gave his axe and lantern to.
Yeah, 100 years ago. And the guy was a pawnbroker, Frank. The stuff's probably long gone.
Or maybe it's still somewhere in Copper Gorge.
Well, that's where we're headed, so let's just hope for the best.
Right.
See you soon.
If you need anything, just let us know. Back already?
See you soon.
Sounds good.
Engineer, this better be Miss Gerard.
Well, actually...
Forget it.
All right, let's investigate over here, can we? There we go. There's our button.
This must be how Lori disappeared.
Okay, you're not gonna investigate, Nancy? Also, how would that work? Like, it literally just goes behind this bar. Where then, I guess she could have climbed over the bar and exited the car? I don't know.
More questions?
How would I go about finding out the name of Jake's train engineer?
If you're smart, you'd ask me. And because my work is going surprisingly well, during my next break, I'll log onto my archives at home and see what I can turn up.
That'd be great, thank you.
Whoever invented the cellular modem, that's whom you should thank, dear.
I'll touch bases with you later.
Remember, if it's juicy, I want to know about it.
Solid Snake style. Alright, so now that we've had that conversation about Camille, there's something we can see in this car on occasion. Just
What
like
is that?
Spooky. You know, just a ghost. No biggie. Let's talk to our ghost expert, see what he has to say about it.
What's up?
I saw a bunch of weird glowing lights outside the window of the sleeping car.
Really? Actually, I'm not surprised.
Charlena said Jake Hurley used to see them too, only he attributed them to his dead wife, Camille.
They're probably some form of piezoelectricity. See, my guess is quartz crystals in the ground are being compressed as the train passes over them, and the resulting voltage, called piezoelectricity, is manifesting itself as glowing lights, probably because of some quirk in the train's shape or in the composition of the metals used in its construction. It was custom built, remember.
So it's a natural phenomenon, not a ghostly one?
Take it from me. Old Mother Nature was capable of some pretty scary stuff.
I'll let you get back to work.
Pleasure talking to you.
Yeah, this guy may be a ghost expert, but I don't think he's a rock expert. Oh, we're gonna... Oh yeah, let's do this. Okay, so silver, it says, is orange, blue, green, red, purple, yellow.
Wilson carbide and acetylene works.
Lamps, place the carbide in the lower chamber, filled in flint lighter, carbide, exceedingly practical.
Always your friend, Thomas Wilson. Looks like a pattern for some kind of dance step. Maybe I'd better keep this.
Whirly burly. I will not only keep this, I will take a picture so I don't have to look at it later. So I think now we can grab this carbide.
Carbide. Just what I need to make that lamp I found work.
Oh, hey, Shrunken Adventures, how's it going? Thanks for joining us. Which is interesting, though, because I don't think we found the lamp yet, Nancy. But okay. Okay, so we got that. Oh, one thing I think we haven't done yet is actually read that letter.
3rd of November,
to Lord.
1901, from somewhere in Colorado. Dear Ruth, I know that we've never met, but now that your father, my estranged brother, is gone, you are my only living relative. I am writing to you to tell you about my mine before I, too, depart this earth, and its location is lost forever. I cannot tell you outright where it is, lest this epistle fall into the wrong hands.
'Cause that would
But
be
with the
easy.
information which follows, and with my train, which shall be yours upon my death, I promise that you'll be able to find it. First, you will need a map. To obtain it, know that my travels have taken me all over this great country, to towns which can be difficult to find, to Calico, Silverado, and Central City, to Dodge City, Virginia City, and Tombstone. To locate the mine on the map, you'll need my projector. When it comes to placing the stones, you'll need to ask someone who holds a warm place in my heart. I have stored his name accordingly, but to retrieve his name, you'll have to give
Oh,
the
wait, Nancy,
dolls an
I wasn't
order.
done with that.
This will require looking inside Camille's dancing shoes for the name of their maker, and wearing the shoes as you perform her favorite step on the dance floor. As for my beloved Camille, she has 4 words for you, words which, when translated into numbers and used in combination, will help power my projector. But alas, she's taken them with her to her grave. So go to Copper Gorge, Colorado, and pay your respects, and let some of her goodness rub off on you. I promised Camille that this train would always be her home. In return, she promised to never leave, and indeed she never has. People say I'm crazy, but I've seen her, and heard her, and feel her presence on the train even today, 20 years after her untimely death. So above all else, my dear niece, let nothing happen to my train. It holds wonderful things. Kindest regards, Jake Hurley.
Okay, let's go and read that again. So we need to write down these cities. City and Tombstone. And now let's go do that puzzle.
That must be the projector Jake mentioned in his letter to Ruth. Whoa!
Right over
Somebody must have thrown the emergency brake.
there. And it wasn't me this time.
The question is, did somebody throw the brake? Or something?
Oh, Joe, now you sound like Lori.
Hey, I was the first one on the scene, and I saw no one.
Who was the next person on the scene?
John Gray. Then Balducci came bursting through one door while Frank and the engineer came through the other. Boy, was that guy ticked. He said the train could have derailed. He reset the brake, muttered a few choice words, then headed back to the engine just as you and Lori showed up.
Everybody was there except Charlena. I don't think she left her laptop the whole time.
You're right. It was Bigfoot. I knew it.
Do you think she could have thrown the brake and snuck back to her laptop without your seeing her?
Not likely, but possible, I guess.
The question is, why? What did she or anybody else stand to gain by stopping the train?
Answer? Nothing. Which is why I think we should at least consider the possibility that something less human in nature may be at work here.
Ah, Joe.
I'm going to see if Balducci's done dusting for fingerprints. Catch you later.
Back already?
See you in a bit.
If you need anything, just let us know.
You got it, Chief. Okay. Well, now let's go back to what we were... Oh. Let's...
More questions?
Would you like to see the letter that Lori gave me as a reward for finding her?
The one in which Jake Hurley supposedly tells his niece how to find his lost mine? No, thank you. I happily leave it to you to try to solve the mystery of his disappearance. You can afford to look foolish, dear. I can't.
Do you have a theory as to who pulled the emergency brake?
Well, I know it wasn't me. I assume it wasn't you, and I highly doubt it was Lori. So that leaves those two friends of yours, Mr. Gray and Mr. Balducci.
Have you run across many haunted train stories in the course of your research?
A few, but most train-bound ghosts that I've come across seem to have better things to do than sit around pulling emergency brakes.
Were you able to find the name of Jake's train engineer?
I came across 3 references to the fact that Jake had an engineer, but I'm afraid none of them included his name. I failed. Sorry.
That's a little suspicious, Charlena.
Aren't you even going to try finding out what happened to Jake Hurley?
No time. The only reason I haven't insisted that Lori release me from all this silliness is there's always the possibility that what happened to him has the makings of a bestseller, although I highly doubt it.
Why are you so sure that Jake's story wouldn't make a bestseller?
His story is an all too common one. A man wanders off into the desert in search of gold and never returns. Why? He either doesn't have enough food or water, or he encounters hostile natives.
What about his wife, Camille, dying on the train like that?
That does make the story a little more interesting. She probably died of something mundane like pneumonia or even measles. Now, if it was wintertime when she died, and they were in the mountains, Jake no doubt kept her body on the train for months before he buried her, which is rather delicious in a morbid sort of way.
Or maybe it's just a little morbid. I think you're weird, Charlena.
How do you think Jake's engineer wound up dead on the train in the middle of nowhere?
My guess is the engineer got tired of waiting for Jake to return, took off in the train to get help, and died of a heart attack along the way, after which the train rolled to a stop in Blue Moon Canyon. Anyone experienced enough to single-handedly run a steam engine would have been quite a bit older than Jake.
I should get going.
Remember, if it's juicy, I want to know about it.
Yep. That we can't open yet. Can't do the piano yet. Mr. Earbuds is here. We'll talk to him in a second.
Glad you dropped in. Lori told me she'd given you a letter from Jake Hurley that says how to find his mine.
That's right. You can read it if you want.
Lori should have given that to me. I mean, I'm the trained professional around here. Let me take a look.
This guy.
I've seen enough. 2 words. Useless. Those are just the rantings of a guy who spent way too much of his life swirling mud around in pans under the hot sun. 5-star nut job.
Lori says she found this letter in a wastebasket.
Exactly where it belongs.
Did you find any fingerprints on the emergency brake handle?
None that were any help, thanks to Casey Jones up there. I told the old geezer not to touch anything, but he went and got his big, fat, oily paw prints all over the place. If we didn't need him to drive the train, I'd charge him with obstruction of justice.
So you have no idea who threw the brake?
Whoa, I didn't say that. As a matter of fact, I found this. Probably fell out of the perp's pocket while he was yanking on the handle.
Looks like some kind of thermometer.
Yeah, like the kind a certain ghost hunter uses on that bogus show of his.
You think John Gray threw the brake? But why would he do that?
Because they're thinking about axing his show, that's why. I checked with this buddy of mine in L.A. Gray's got to come up with something real big real soon, or he's toast. And you can't get much bigger than a train with a spooky past that's prone to strange accidents, now can ya?
Have you confronted John with your suspicions?
All in due time. I always like to get my ducks in a row before I make an arrest.
But couldn't someone else have dropped that thermometer?
Please. Who's the top cop here, huh? Who's the world-famous detective? You? I know what I'm doing, sweetheart. John Gray wanted publicity. That's exactly what I'm gonna give him.
Hope I didn't take up too much of your time.
Not a problem.
Suspicious. Well, let's go talk to Mr. Gray, see what he has to say for himself.
What's up?
So are you making any progress in here?
Oh yeah, not only am I getting some real unusual EMRs, that's electromagnetic readings, but take a look at this.
You've got something?
I set up a camera and took some time-lapse photos. Sometimes I was in the room, sometimes I wasn't, but somewhere along the line, I managed to get a shot of Camille.
Where? You don't mean that little blob, do you?
Yep, that's Camille.
Okay.
You're skeptical. That's cool. Just remember, the key word when it comes to ghostly phenomena is energy. That blob is the result of Camille's residual life force, spirit if you will, reacting with the chemicals in the photographic paper.
Couldn't it just be a flaw in the photographic paper?
Okay, it could be that too, but it's not. Trust me.
Are you by any chance missing a small digital thermometer?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I am. When I went through the box I'd packed them in, that one over there, I came up one short. I was hoping to set up at least 6 in here so I could check for cold spots. How did you know I was missing one?
Because Tino Balducci found it by the emergency brake handle when he was dusting it for fingerprints. And now he thinks you're the one who pulled it.
That's ridiculous. I didn't have any reason to pull the emergency brake.
Have you been in this room the whole time you've been on the train?
Of course not. I made a couple of trips to my compartment in the sleeping car to get more equipment. But did I get an overpowering urge to pull the emergency brake while I was there? No.
Any truth to the rumor that your show's about to be canceled?
Newsflash, my show was canceled. Happened last night. But what nobody knows yet is that it's been picked up by a major TV network. Not only am I still on the air, but I'm sitting prettier than ever. Any other questions?
Well, I'll catch you later.
Goodbye.
So how is his show simultaneously canceled and picked up by a major TV network? That doesn't make sense to me. Are they just playing reruns, or what's the deal?
That looks just like the stuff John Gray has his thermometers packed in.
You're right, Nancy.
What's going on?
You're the one who pulled that emergency brake, aren't you?
Me? What, are you joking?
Care to explain how packing material from the box those thermometers were in wound up on the floor over there?
You're just some teenage nobody. I don't have to listen to this.
You're right, you don't. Neither do the other passengers. But unless you give me a good reason not to, I think I'll tell them anyway.
Look, maybe I was a little hasty, pointing a finger at the ghost guy like that. Maybe all those lies people have been spreading are starting to get to me. Maybe I thought it would help if I got a little positive press by solving a crime aboard a haunted train. Maybe I apologize. And, maybe you can see fit not to let any of this go beyond this room?
Well, no harm done, I guess.
Great. Well, what else can I do for you?
You've been a big help.
Don't mention it.
I won't mention it, just promise you won't show up in any of the future games, because that would be terrible. Okay, what do we still have to do here? Oh yeah, we still haven't gotten to the end of the car. to do that thing yet. So let's do that.
Yes?
Guess I better get to work.
As soon as you figure it out, let me know.
I wonder if this has something to do with that list of cities Jake mentioned in his letter to Ruth.
Okay. Now let's go. Silverado. Okay. Central City. Dodge City. Virginia City. No. There we go. Okay. NVR Z.
Guess I'm done. Strange. All that's left is a jumble of letters.
I'm sure it'll be important for something else, Nancy. Don't worry. Still can't take that though. I bet we still have to look at something. Let me...
Darn. The name of the shoes is so faded I can't tell what it is. Maybe Bess and George can help me figure out who made them.
Hello?
Hi, Bess.
Hey, what's going on?
The name of the company that made Jake's wife's dancing shoes is too faded to read. But to find Jake's mine, I need to know what it is.
Hey, I know what you can do. Take a picture of them with your cell phone, then send it to us, and we'll check them out for you.
But I thought you guys had to paint Bess's room.
Boring. Besides, we're going to have to take a break soon because we're almost out of paint. Probably because Bess has gotten more on me than she has on the walls. Anyway, send us a picture of the shoes via cell phone and we'll get right on it.
Ah, you guys are the greatest.
I know. Need anything else?
I get the definite feeling Laurie Gerard has a thing for Tino Balducci.
I saw him on TV once. He is very cute.
Laurie thinks he's the world's greatest detective.
And you don't?
Clearly, Batman is the world's greatest detective. Like, come on.
Let's just say I'm glad he doesn't work for our police department.
I think the only reason he's famous is because he looks good on camera. Well, I think you two are being way too hard on him. Just because he's good looking doesn't mean he can't also be smart. In fact, maybe Balducci tries to look incompetent on purpose. You know, to give the bad guys a false sense of security so it's easier to catch them. Ever think of that? No, Bess, I never did. Well, there you go.
Get this. It turns out that Tino Balducci pulled the emergency brake.
Balducci did it?
He framed John Gray so he could arrest him and get some positive press for himself. I think it finally dawned on him that he's not the great detective everyone thinks he is, and probably never will be.
How pathetic can you get? Cute and pathetic. Just my type.
Oh, Bess.
I better go.
Remember, when in doubt, call.
Alright, how do we... camera? Send to Bess and George. Okay, so once they get back to us, we can do that puzzle. We go figure out... We must have to look at something before we can pick up that wrench. Did that one.
wonder what's under here.
Here we go.
And what the deal is with those weird-looking bolts. That tool I saw in the caboose. I bet that's what you use to unscrew these bolts.
Yes, thank you, Nancy. Now we can pick it up.
I can use this to open that grate I saw in Camille's car. More pipes to connect.
Don't sound so sad, Nancy. This is the best part of the game.
Here we go.
At least we're not being timed for this one. Okay. So we did that puzzle. That one or that one. Well, 1, 2. We have 11 out of 12 dolls. So we could technically do that one.
More questions?
Well, I'll let you go.
My publisher thanks you.
Nancy, you missed it.
Missed what?
The argument of the century.
Joe, he's exaggerating.
Aw, come on, you heard them. They were ready to tear each other to shreds.
Who?
Charlena and Lori.
All we heard was the tail end of it, and unfortunately, we really couldn't make out what they were saying.
So you don't know what they were arguing about?
No.
But whatever it was, both of them were absolutely out of their minds, livid.
And it would probably be a good idea to find out why.
Let me look into it. I'll talk to you later, okay?
You know where to find us.
It looks like this thing opens up. But how?
Well, let's see if there's anything else we can do on the scale. I don't think there is. Yeah, we need more to do that. But let's. I think we can. I think we have to hear from Bess and George next. So let's try that. See if they figure figured this out yet.
Hello?
Me again. Just checking to see whether you were able to find out the name of those dancing shoes yet.
Your wish is our command, but hang on to your hat. The name is a real mouthful. The shoes were made by Chaussette Chateauyan, Chausssettees, Chatoyantes. That's French for shimmering socks. Apparently, if you were into dancing in the 1870s, that was the company to get your shoes from.
Chaussette Chateauyan. Got it. Thanks, guys.
Thanks for letting us help.
Catch you later.
Remember, when in doubt, call.
Okay. So, we can do this dancing puzzle, which we could have done anyway. Okay, start. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 10. What did?
Guess Camille liked to collect dolls.
Okay. Now we have to use the name Chateauyan. Sorry, I don't speak French. You have to use that name with the doll's initials to put them in order. Now, we don't know one of their names, but we have the other 11, so we can just brute force it. Okay, so first is CH, so that would be Chantilly Hildegard, who had braids and a dress. Which I think is gonna be this one. Well, we'll try her there for now. Then AU, Awful Ursula, with her red hair. And SS, Sickly Sarah, which is the heterochromatic one. Is that this one? Yes. ET, which is Edna the Terrible. It's the one that says Mama.
Mama!
Maybe this one. And then TE, Teddy Aberhart, is the one wearing plaid. And then SC, Sadie Crawford, is one that has 2 left feet. Because remember, we found her shoes in the by the where the Hardys are. And HA, Hagar Anderson, is wearing suspenders. And TO, Thomasina O'Neill, is the blue ribbon one. Not sure which one that would be. We'll skip that one. YA, Yawning Alice is the one that's tired. She's in the 3rd spot. And NT, Naughty Tina, is the cracked face one. And then ES, Eliza's somewhere. The red ribbon. Oh, you know what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9. Oh, I guess there only were. I was thinking there was 12 for some reason, but no, there's only 11. So this should be it. Hey, there we go. How about that? Completed a chat. Some more slugs. Sweet. Some dress patterns or something. Cool, cool. Okay, I'd like to back up, Nancy. Thank you. Okay, so that's that. Got 1, 2, 3 gemstones. So we need 3 more. So 1 we know is in Tino's room. We can't get that one yet. I believe there's one in the Hardy's room. Although actually, hang on. I think we can do this scale now. Okay. So first is Owl 7. Cherry for 10. And the square is 4. So let's see. If we subtract 8 and then add 2, I hope that's too many. So this, by the way, is how many slugs. So we're supposed to use 3 slugs, because the third one, to get a value of +4. Or -4, what does work. Okay, there we go. And then the next is the duck. Waddle waddle, which is 1. How do I go from that to 1? Well, maybe we can't do this one yet. We might need a different one. Okay.
Hey, how's it going?
Talk to you later.
Sounds good.
Uh-oh, that doesn't look good.
Hey, Cassian. How's it going? We're doing pretty good. We've got a bunch of the stones, a bunch of the slugs. Just trying to figure out what else we need to do before we finish up the train section. Yeah, only a couple deaths. Some intentional, some not.
Hey, glad you stopped in. You gotta listen to this.
What have you got?
I put this digital recorder in the corner where Camille showed up in that picture and turned it on so it would just keep recording. Now when you play it back at normal volume, all you hear is background noise. But when you turn the volume way up and run the signal through a filter or two, hear that?
I hear something. It kind of sounds like a woman singing.
Not just any woman.
Camille.
So be careful what you say in here. She's listening.
You mean you're listening?
I won't keep you any longer.
Take care.
Yeah, that's just Frank in the bathroom.
What's going on?
How did you and Lori meet?
We met at a party in New York. Nice girl. Not a lot upstairs, but nice girl.
She seems to have a thing for your eyes.
Yeah, she always told me they were... I mean, she told me once that she thought they were very, brown.
You've been a big help.
Don't mention it.
What else are we missing? Let's look at the old checklist here. Find all the gemstones. Symbols on the stove.
Finish that. Finish that. I'm done with that. I'm done with that. Still have to do that. Finish that. Check. I'm done with that. Finish that. Check. I'm done with that. Check. I'm done with that. Finish that. Haven't done that yet. Haven't done that yet. Check. Finish that. Check. Can't check that off yet. I'm done with that. Still have to do that. Finish that. Check. Finish that. I'm done with that.
Well, I guess let's talk to Lori. You might actually have to talk to her to get the...
Looks like I need to enter 8 letters into this thing. The question is, which 8 letters?
Come on. Please, watch your head, Nancy.
Jake's mine must be somewhere on this map, but where?
I bet it's right here in Blue Moon Canyon. Don't ask me why I think that, but you know. So that's the.
Finish that.
Let's see if Lori will let us go to the place now.
Yes?
I understand that you and Charlena had a big argument earlier.
That's an understatement.
What was the argument about?
Let's just say my idol turned out to have dirty feet.
You mean feet of clay?
Whatever. Let's either talk about something else or not talk at all, okay?
I hear that Tino and you used to be an item.
How did you know that?
So it's true?
We went out a couple of times, yeah. As for why we stopped going out, you'd have to ask him.
How come you didn't try to find the mine yourself?
Maybe I did. Or maybe I just thought letting other people try to find it would be a good excuse to throw a party. I like parties.
I'll come back later.
I'll be waiting. Yes?
We'll talk some more later.
I'll be waiting.
Okay, so that's that puzzle. Still no Copper Gorge, though. Pickaxe, the lamp, telescope, and we need a couple more gemstones. I know where one is, but where's the other one? Oh, that's where it is. The other one is in also Copper Gorge.
What's going on?
How come you told me you and Lori never went out, and she told me you did?
Don't you ever stop asking questions?
I'm a detective. You know how it is.
I dumped her, okay? I'm not proud of what I did. I'm not happy about what I did, but it's done. It's over. Now let's drop it.
Guess I'll just have to go talk to Lori again.
You are incredibly irritating, you know that? I dumped her because people said going out with her would make me look bad. Said she was a joke, that no one took her seriously. Said if I started hanging with her, no one would take me seriously. So I stopped calling.
Did you ever tell Lori any of this?
No. Now take a powder. I don't feel like talking anymore.
More questions?
What were you and Lori arguing about earlier today?
Lori and I? We weren't arguing. We were simply discussing a topic about which both of us are passionate, that's all.
You weren't angry?
No. And even if we were, that's really none of your business. I know that sounds harsh, but really, Nancy, eavesdropping is so tacky.
Actually, it was Frank and Joe Hardy who overheard you. They said I should talk to you before they gave me all the gory details, but since you obviously don't want to tell me your side of the story, I'll just have to get the scoop from them.
No, you don't have to do that. A storyline that Lori submitted to me found its way into my last book, despite the fact that she never received compensation for it. She's reading the book now, and when she got to that part, she freaked.
And that's what you were arguing about?
Yes. Now, legally, she can't prove anything, and I'm certainly not about to admit anything. And it's not as if she needs the money. But that's what we were arguing about. For what it's worth, I'm going to talk to this producer I know to see if he'll cast Lori in his next movie. It'll help ease my conscience, and who knows? She could wind up being a star. I mean, she is blonde.
Well, I'll let you go.
That would be nice.
Hey, how's it going?
Talk to you later.
You know where to find us.
So, Lori pushed that button, slid the shelves open further, squeezed through, and disappeared. Very clever.
Okay, so what do we gotta do? Let's go talk to Lori again, I guess. I don't think there's anything else we can do in our checklist until we get there, unless I'm just messing up the duck puzzle. We'll see if Lori has anything to say, and then if not, I guess we'll come back and try the duck puzzle again.
Before you say anything, I just want to say thank you.
For what?
Tino came to see me. He said you'd made him realize what a jerk he'd been for dumping me, and then he asked me out. Isn't that great? He said he doesn't care what anybody else thinks. He thinks we make the perfect couple.
Well, I can't argue with him there.
So what do you want?
Bye.
As soon as you figure it out, let me know. Yes?
We'll talk some more later.
Do have it
As
figured
soon as
out.
you figure it out, let me know.
We need to go to Copper Gorge. Okay, I'm pretty sure you need to get the name of the guy to get to Copper Gorge, and I'm pretty sure to get the name of the guy, you gotta get into the duck square thing. So let's go look at that again. There's gotta be a way to solve it now. Okay. Okay, what was... Square is 4. Okay, so now by adding one more, I have to get to duck, which is either plus or minus 1. See if I take... See, if I take the 8, the 3, or the 1 off, though, it disappears, so I just have to use these 2. I could do that and that, but then that's using too many.
With any luck, I just opened the stove in the dining car.
Okay, that's tricky. Alright, Copper Gorge, here we go. Run, Nancy, run. Just don't hit your face on the emergency wreck again. Clong.
James Thurston.
Hell yeah.
Hey, how's it going?
I think I know the name of Jake Hurley's engineer. James Thurston.
Great! What else do you know about him?
Well, nothing.
Good.
Good.
Yeah, finding out more about him will give us something to do. We'll look into it.
Talk to you later.
You know where to find us.
Now I think we talk to Lori. And then she says, okay, we'll go to Copper Gorge. Hope you all having fun in chat. I'm kind of annoyed. I'm not sure when it was, but a while back, OBS stopped showing me how many people were
Yes?
watching.
I'll come back later.
Keep me posted.
Really? What am I supposed to do now? Okay, let's see.
Can't check that off yet. Finish that. Can't check that off. Finish that. Check.
So I gotta go talk to Frank and Joe again? Or what's the deal? Let's make the rounds, talk to all of our suspects just to be sure. Nope. Missed the door. Whoa, try again, Nancy.
I can't stay mad at a fellow detective. What do you need?
Thanks for your help.
Not a problem.
What's up?
I won't keep you any longer.
Goodbye.
More questions?
I should get going.
My publisher thanks you.
Hey, how's it going?
Were you able to find anything
Better
out
say
about
yes.
Jake's engineer, that James Thurston guy?
Good news and bad news. The good news is he had a wife in Copper Gorge, so he may have had children.
The bad news is our internet service provider stopped providing before we could use our cell phones to find out anything else.
That's okay. We can do more checking when we get to Copper Gorge.
Right.
Da 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 da. Oh, sorry, wrong franchise. All right, let's go to the place.
Yes,
You startled me. Do you work here?
I do. Are you looking for someone?
Yes, Camille Hurley. She died back in the 1800s.
Ah, Camille. Beautiful crypt, wonderful view, good drainage. Whoever buried her must have loved her very much.
May I go inside it?
You may, but unfortunately you can't.
Why not?
I accidentally dropped the key down the grate that's in front of the crypt. If you can retrieve it, you can keep it. I'm having another one made. But if you do go into the crypt, just remember, you won't be alone.
Too spooky.
Well, there's the key. I'll never get that key at this rate. It's locked.
Well, time to declare defeat.
Hey there! Welcome to Buell's Old Time Taffy House. Come on over here. Welcome, stranger. Listen, you by any chance get here on that private train what's parked out yonder?
As a matter of fact, yes, I did.
There's a rumor going around that Charlena Purcell's on board. Is that true?
As a matter of fact, yes, it is.
Hot dang if that don't beat all. I've read every single book that gal's ever written. Best writer whatever lived. Did she get off the train too?
I don't think so. She's pretty busy.
Charlena Purcell herself right here in Copper Gorge, breathing the same air as me. Hot dang! Well, welcome, little missy. Go on in and take a gander at what life was like during the heyday of Copper Gorge whilst you sample some of our delicious homemade saltwater taffy.
So, this is some kind of museum?
Why, it's the best kind of museum, sister. It's free. You can gape and gawk and ooh and ah to your heart's content. Least you can till I close up.
Are you Buell?
Do I sound like a Buell to you?
Sorry, the costume kinda, threw me off.
Oh, right. Sometimes I forget I'm wearing this thing. Buell was my great-great-uncle. This building used to be his general store. During the glory days back in the 1880s, he commenced a pawnbrokering, so the miners Copper Gorge was crawling with back then could raise some cash to pay for grub and tools and such. But pretty soon, the mining boom went bust. And there was Uncle Buell, stuck with a whole store full of junk. Only it wasn't junk to him. Debris from lost lives and broken dreams is what he called it. Couldn't bring himself to get rid of it. So, he passed it on to his kin. My great-granddaddy's the one who come up with the idea of turning the place into a tourist attraction.
And you make money by selling taffy?
Tourists just love taffy. Especially when you dangle a free sample in front of them to get them hooked. Of course, it ain't really free. Some taffy on a stick'll cost you 2 tokens, which you can get by winning both those games over there.
Are they hard?
Danged if I know. Come to think of it, I've never played them. But you're getting me off track here, missy. Fact of the matter is they're free. Less you go messing with the artifacts I got in here. Do that and you'll be headfirst in the nearest snowdrift before you know what hit you.
Do you by any chance have any of Jake Hurley's things in here?
Jake who?
Hurley. He was a miner. I think he may have left a lamp and a pickaxe with your great-great-uncle.
Never heard of him. Of course, that don't mean his stuff's not here. Just means you're just gonna have to look around and see for yourself. But remember, Susie Q, don't touch.
Great talking to you.
Be right here if you got any questions.
Okie dokie.
Something tells me I better not go in there without permission. This looks just like the insignia I saw on the train. I'll bet this was Jake's trunk. If this was his trunk, maybe the pickaxe and lamp that I need are inside.
You ain't touching anything over there, are you, missy?
Oops, I'd better go ask permission before I mess with this.
Oh, Nancy, when have you ever needed permission? So that's there. Let's do a horse race. Okay, first try. Yeah, clearly nobody else has the initials JH. Just Jake Hurley. Oh, this one. This is going to be fun. Alright, wish me luck, chat. So we're trying to get it to land in the donkey or the dynamite, which is good for us, the miner. And we don't want it to land in the purple ones. So those are bad for us. In fact, I think we can just kind of let it go there. The Yeti is slightly faster, but I think we have enough of a head start that we should still win. Because if I fuck up and land in one of the purple ones, it's going to send me back. So I think I'm just going to play it safe. Yeah, we got this. Alright, while I'm thinking of it, let's see.
Taffy on a stick. Hey, maybe I could use this to fish the crypt key out from under that grate. Looks like to get some taffy on a stick, I'm going to need 2 different tokens.
I'm guessing Nancy is being so generous with hints just because I'm playing on Junior.
You still here?
Do you know what's in that old trunk over there?
Why? You ain't been fooling with it, have you?
Oh no, of course not. No, I just thought it might contain the lamp and pickaxe that I asked you about before.
Well, if it does, you can forget about 'em, 'cause it's locked. None of my kin have ever been able to figure out how to open it. Not even my cousin Alvin, and he went to junior college.
Would it be okay if I tried to open it?
Well, now, I certainly ain't gonna let you break it open if that's what you're getting at.
Oh no, I would never use force, believe me. But in order to try to get it open, I would have to, touch it.
Nope, sorry, not gonna happen, little missy. Unless...
Unless?
Tell you what, you get Charlene Purcell to come in here so's I can shake her hand, and I'll let you fiddle with that trunk till the cows come home.
You know what? I've got a better idea.
Now, what could be better than me coming face to face with the lady who writes the finest literature this here country's ever seen?
Well, that's just it. If you were to just meet her, you'd have nothing to show for it. Afterwards, she'd go her way and you go yours, and that would be it. But if you were to, say, get her autograph, well, then you'd have something to hang on the wall and brag about.
Okay, make it so's I can meet her and get her autograph.
Oh, but the thing is, she's on a deadline, and if you take her away from her writing, she may fall behind. And if she falls behind, her publisher may pull the plug. And if her publisher pulls the plug, it could ruin her career. Do you really want to risk ruining Charlena Purcell's career?
Good heavens, of course not. All right, you just get me Charlena's autograph, and you got a deal. Just make sure she uses my name. I want it real personal-like.
You bet. And your name is?
Fatima, with an F. None of that weirdo PH stuff.
Okay, Fatima. I'll be right back.
And Nancy's pretty good at getting her way.
More questions?
I met a huge fan of yours in town who'd really, really like your autograph. An autographed picture would be even better.
Imagine that. Me having fans way out here in the boonies. Well, I'm sure I have a picture around here somewhere. But what I don't have is a pen. Usually I just ask my assistant for one.
I have a pencil here somewhere.
A pencil won't do, dear. It has to be ink. See if you can borrow a pen from somebody.
I didn't know if Fatima was Arabic. Interesting.
What's going on?
Do you by any chance have a pen I could borrow?
Why, I'm surprised at you. Don't you know that every detective should carry a pen?
Actually, I carry a pencil.
Well, as it happens, I got lots of pens. Tell you what, if you can play that Leaping Lizards game I found over there and do better than I did when I played it, which shouldn't be that hard seeing as how smart you are, I'll give you a pen. What do you say?
Sounds good to me.
Okay, the object of the game is to get rid of as many lizards as you can by jumping them with other lizards until you can't jump anymore. Last time I played, I wound up with just 5 lizards. If you can wind up with only 4, the pen's yours.
Alright, just promise that you won't have this puzzle show up in any other game. That might be a problem.
You lost.
Yeah.
Guess you're not so smart after all. Try again.
Well, sure.
I know we're gonna get these ones out of the corner.
You lost again. One more time.
Yeah.
Well,
so
sure.
One's in the corner. I gotta get out of there first if I can.
I did it! I won!
Talk about luck. Here's your
Alright.
pen.
We did it.
What else can I do for you?
Thanks for your help.
Don't mention it.
Don't worry, I will not. Ah, yes, the nice flat JPEG of the countryside. Beautiful.
Have you found a pen so I can autograph that picture?
I got it from Tino. You can keep it. If you could have it say, to Fatima, that'd be great.
There you go. Anything else?
I should get going.
Remember, if it's juicy, I want to know about it.
How about those tomatoes? They're pretty juicy.
Hey, Nancy.
There you are. We've been looking for you.
Yeah, you won't believe the lucky break we caught.
Lucky break?
The
Hey, that was the
cheeseburger.
result of good old-fashioned detective work.
It was the result of your insisting we stop for a cheeseburger.
Guys, what's going on?
Well, it turns out that a grandchild of Jake's engineer still lives around here.
What's more, he hangs out at the local diner. Comes in every day.
Apparently, he's pretty ancient.
Ah, and you found that out when you stopped there so Joe could get a hamburger.
Cheeseburger.
The thing is, the owner of the diner wouldn't agree to point the guy out unless one of us fills in for his short-order cook.
He's got to go home and wait for the cable guy or something.
And since Joe here barely knows how to boil water, guess who got the job?
Way to go, Joe.
Hey, I can boil water. It's just that when it's got things floating in it, I get confused.
Speaking of confused, get this. Balducci convinced Lori that Jake's mine is somewhere right here in Copper Gorge, so he, Lori, and John Gray are hiking up the mountain out there even as we speak.
Like that bumblebrain's gonna find anything.
Sounds like now might be a good time to do some serious poking around on the train.
Good thought.
Hey, I better get going. Wish me luck.
I'll go with you. You can make me a cheeseburger.
Got that autograph?
Got something better, an autographed picture.
Hot dang! She spelled my name right and everything. Go ahead, little missy. Have a go at that trunk. Whatever's inside it's all yours.
This indentation looks familiar.
There we go.
And that was the sound of her teleporting up there and putting it up in half a second or less, apparently. Okay. Yeah, so let's do this thing now.
I need something long and sticky.
I'm not even gonna touch that one, Nancy.
Gotcha.
Yeah, a stick, exactly. Okay, this is also gonna be important. Yeah, cheeseburger does sound delicious.
This indentation looks familiar.
Copper. I will see you later. See you is green, red, purple, yellow, orange, and blue. BB, yeah, peanut butter, of course.
In the letter he wrote to his niece, Jake said she should go to Camille's grave and let Camille's goodness rub off on her. Rub as in rubbing, maybe? If I am supposed to make rubbings of these pillars, I'll need a pencil, which I already have, and some nice thin paper.
Sure will, Nancy.
Welcome back.
Great talking to you.
Ditto, little missy.
I need to match that shape.
So the question is, which one to open as trunk? Stones. Order. Camille. Oh, you know, I think you guys are right, actually. PB is to open what's closed. Lead is the key.
I need to match that shape.
And lead is PB. So let's try that. Red. Green. Blue. Orange. Yellow. Purple. There we go.
Well, here's Jake's lamp. Another slug. Could come in handy. But where's his pickaxe?
Yo, Fatima.
You still here?
Have you by any chance ever come across a pickaxe that had the initials JH carved into it?
Why?
Because it used to belong to Jake Hurley, and I really, really need it. I thought it would be in that old trunk, but it wasn't.
You got that trunk open? Wait till I tell Cousin Alvin. He thinks he's so smart. As for that pickaxe, so happens I got it upstairs in my kitchen. Use it to open the coconuts Aunt Lucy sends me every year from Hawaii.
Do you think I could have it?
Why, no, you can't have it. How would I open them coconuts?
Hey, I could have just gotten you Charlena's autograph, but instead I got you an autographed picture, which is way better. You owe me.
Ah, okay. I'll let you have the pickaxe. After you do something for me.
Like what?
I got a bunch of taffy over there what needs sorting. Just follow the directions that are posted by the machine. Them belts get moving pretty fast, so you gotta keep your wits about you. While you're doing that, I'll fetch that pickaxe.
You got a deal. Wax paper for the taffy. Would you mind if I took a piece of wax paper?
Guess I could let you have a piece.
Fire it up. Alright, so you're in. Thanks for hanging out. Oops.
I did it!
Got that taffy sorted?
Finally. That was hard.
You sneak any freebies while you were at it?
It was pretty tempting, but nope, I sure didn't.
Well, ain't you the goody two-shoes? Truth is, wouldn't have minded too much if you had, long as you fessed up to it. Here's the pickaxe. Cracked the handle pretty bad on the last batch of coconuts. You sure you want it?
Positive.
There you go. Don't hurt yourself.
I won't. Thank you.
You still here?
Great talking to you.
I'll bet it was.
Hello?
Hey, it's Frank. I'm in the kitchen of the diner playing short order cook.
Has that grandchild of Jake's engineer showed up yet?
Just came in with this lady who's even older than he is. And get this,
Time
he's a
to cook.
retired miner, so every time I finish an order and ring the pickup bell, he thinks it's the mine shaft elevator bell. And for some reason, it makes him start telling his lady friend about his grandfather.
You mean you ring the bell and he starts talking about James Thurston?
Pretty
Exactly.
convenient.
Of course, 5 seconds later, he's rambling on about something totally unrelated, but I just fill an order, ring the bell, and ding, he picks up right where he left off. That is, unless I fill the order wrong and the waitress chews me out. She's got a voice like a chainsaw. Very distracting.
Sounds like you better keep your ears open and your nose to the grindstone.
I am. Just wanted to keep you posted.
Well, good luck.
Thanks. Talk to you soon.
What if we do make one wrong? What happens?
Hey, this isn't what my customer ordered. Come on, you back there in the kitchen, pay attention. Make me another one fast, and do it right this time.
Ooh-wee, that Sally's got some voice on her, doesn't she?
Okay, onions, jalapenos. Let's see, onions, jalapenos. That was not actually too far off. Hot mustard, bacon, and cheese. Good old countertop bacon.
So do you know what you want to order yet, Edna?
I'm still looking.
Did I tell you that my granddad was the engineer on a private train owned by one of the richest men that ever passed through Copper Gorge? Jake Hurley was his name. Yes, sir, my granddaddy was Jake's private engineer for more than 20... Yes, sir, Jake Hurley told my granddaddy things he never told another living soul. Not even his wife. I tell you about her, Edna?
I don't think so.
Camille was her name. Camille Boulet. That's French, you know. Of course, she died so young that poor Jake didn't have time to tell her anything. According to my granddaddy, the way my granddaddy died, that was kind of strange, too. I ever tell you how my granddaddy died?
No, I don't think you did.
My daddy, he came home from school one day to find a railroad official telling his mom that Granddad been found dead in Blue Moon Canyon, Nevada. He was in the engine of Jake Hurley's train, just kind of slumped over with his hand still on the throttle. The strange thing is, nobody else was on board the train, yet the door to the engine was locked and barred. It was like Granddad was trying to keep someone out, like he was running from something. Like something finally scared him so... I ever tell you about the mine my granddaddy said Jake Hurley'd found?
He found a mine?
A couple years before he died, Granddad told my daddy that Jake found a vein in the mountains somewhere and was mining it all by himself, so no one would steal it out from under him. He wouldn't even tell Granddad where the mine was. What he'd do is have Granddad drive the train real slow so he could jump off without Granddad's... But the craziest thing Jake Hurley ever did was tell Granddad the secret to finding his mine. He made him swear to tell it to my daddy and nobody else. Eventually, my daddy, he told me, and it was so bizarre that I remember it to this day, though I sure don't understand how it'd help anybody find his mine. But since my daddy didn't tell me not to tell anybody, this is what crazy Jake Hurley told Granddad, word for word. The eye of the tiger is fixed on a star. Zircon lies in fingers that scar. Amethyst floats in a hand from the deep. Citrine is what the foul mouth shall keep. Tourmaline by a soft arm is ensnared. Peridot rests at the foot of the mare.
The eye of the tiger is fixed on a star. Zircon lies in fingers that scar. Amethyst floats in a hand from the deep. Citrine is what the foul mouth shall keep. Tourmaline by a soft arm is ensnared. Peridot rests at the foot of the mare?
Frank, are you sure that's what he said?
I'm positive.
Do you think he could have been pulling your leg?
Look, this guy was old, okay? I mean, we're talking Jurassic. And guys that old don't joke around. They don't have time to. What you just heard is what I heard, word for word.
Got anything else?
I almost forgot. You gotta check this out.
It's just an old letter, Frank.
You bet it's an old letter. From Samuel Clemens.
Oh my gosh, where'd you get this?
I found it in the caboose.
Apparently he and Jake were pen pals.
Wish I had a famous writer for a pen pal.
When Joe gave it to me, I about flipped. I know I should turn it over to Lori, and I will, but it's just so darn cool.
I still don't see what the big deal is. I mean, it's not like it's from Mark Twain or anything.
Joe.
What?
You're dumb.
See you later.
You know where to find us.
Okay. Citrine, Foulmouth, Tourmaline. Hmm. Okay. So I already know which one goes where. Now we just gotta go get the other one because we got one from Camille's grave. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now we just need to go get the last one from Tino's room. Then we'll have all 6. Oh, and I guess we can do this too since Ghost Hunter guy is finally gone. Okay, let's see. C. I haven't played piano in a couple months. That's F, G.
A spyglass. I'll bet it's the one I need for Jake's projector.
What was I? Oh, right. Yoink. All right.
Jake said a lamp goes here. Okay, looks like that goes there.
Y'all got any lamp?
I need a spyglass. There, it should work now.
Oh, but we need to know which one is which. Let's go figure that out.
I wonder if that eagle has something to do with the eagle in that painting in the dining car.
I don't know, Nancy. Let's find out. So 12, that's 12. Okay, well, so much for that. Then eagle is 2. Sweet. Eagle.
More pipes. Why am I not surprised? There, that looks right.
Yeah, there we go. At least we're not being timed for those, right? Okay, so that's that one. There is still one more we need, though. Which we have to go back to do this, which we were interrupted for earlier. Hopefully the creepy dude isn't Crypt Keeper. Eternity.
I need something that'll help me make sense out of all those lines.
Wisdom.
If there's a hidden message here, I'll never find it at this rate.
I think if you look closely, you can see that these all look pretty plain, and that this one there's a slight relief of something there if you look real close. But yeah, maybe she's just reaching out and like touching it with her fingers or something.
Wisdom, charity, purity, eternity.
Take a picture of that. Oops. Oh, not the... Get out of here. Okay, now... go back to... here. Okay, so... top left... we have wisdom, and then charity, and eternity, and then purity. Oh, it sounds like D&D stats. So then you have to go to the sampler, or no, sorry, we have to go to on that book page that we found. So purity is a harp. Charity is a dove. Wisdom is owl. Eternity is crown. Now we go back to the sampler. So owl is a 7. Dove is 9. Crown is 6. And harp is trace.
And naturally, we have still more pipes.
I may not be a plumbing expert, but I feel like there's a more efficient way to hook this up. Maybe copper was less expensive back in this day.
That should do it.
Who knows? Okay, so I think we can go and turn on... Wait, I think we can go turn on the steam now. So let's try that.
Sounds like steam from the engine is moving through those pipes now.
Excellent.
Better not mess with that puppy.
Man, I can't pull it. I mean, nothing
Better
would
not
happen.
mess with that
Nancy,
puppy.
we're not moving. Don't worry about it. It's fine. Forget about it. Okay. Stop in here. So let's see if we can identify our gemstones. Amethyst. Lilac to deep purple. So amethyst is purple. Citrine is golden. Tiger's eye is soap. Watermelon tourmaline. It's the watermelon one. That's really pretty. It's peridot. Peridot is apple green. Zircon. Round. So zircon is round. Yeah, I think zircon would be this one. Okay, I think we... Yeah, the one that just happens to look like the one in the book. But yeah, even if that's not right, we still have the other 5, so, you know, process opening issue. All right.
I need a pickaxe.
Oh no.
What I need is some duct tape. Still broken.
Cinders and ashes.
What's up?
Would you by any chance have any duct tape?
Got some right there in my gearbox. That's the good news. The bad news is, I can't open the box. It's an antique lockbox that I found in this abandoned monastery I scoped out on my show last year. You can open it with either the key, which I just discovered I forgot to bring with me, or the combination, which you're supposed to be able to figure out just by looking at the box. Fortunately, I didn't put anything critical in there. I've never tried to open it without the key, but if you want that duct tape, go ahead and give it a shot.
Thanks, I think I will.
If you get it open, the duct tape's all yours.
There's an image on each of those buttons. They tell a story, maybe? I bet the animals should start from the left shore.
Right. So I'm not sure why it's death in the picture, why he's got a big sickle or whatever, but... So this is the story of the guy who had to bring the wolf and the cat and the peacock across the river. So they don't really explain it, but the wolf and the cat can't be together because the wolf will eat the cat, or the dog, or whatever it is. And the cat and the bird can't be together because the cat will eat the bird. So they all start out of here. So the first one you do is you take the cat, because, you know, for some reason the bird and the dog are fine together. So you go over, you drop the cat off, you go back. Okay. So now you are at the left shore, and now either you can technically bring either of the other two, it doesn't matter. In this case, he's bringing the wolf. Then he drops the wolf off. No, that's not right. Right? Yeah. So he drops the wolf off, but now he can't leave the cat there, so he has to bring the cat back. Now he leaves the cat on the first side and brings the bird. Now these two are on that side, and then he just goes back for the cat. All done. And some versions of the story, it's like a bird. It's like a cat, a chicken, and a bag of grain, which to me makes more sense because, like, you know, the cat wouldn't eat a bag of grain, obviously, but the cat would eat the chicken, and the chicken would eat the grain. So I don't know. But that's how you solve that particular logic puzzle. Okay, got the duct tape.
There, good as new. Sorta. Darn, I must be missing something.
Yeah, Nancy, we haven't put the gemstones in yet, silly. Okay, so the thing said the eye of a tiger is fixed on a star, so the tiger eye goes here. Zircon lies and fingers that scar, which would be the claws, I believe. Zircon is the round one. Oops. Amethyst is in Hand from the Deep. You remember if we caught that fish packaging earlier that said, oh, this tuna, it's the Hand from the Deep. So Amethyst is the purple one. Dang it, not that one. Citrine is what the foul mouth. She'll keep getting foul because it's like a bird. Citrine is the golden one. Tourmaline by a soft arm is ensnared. Tourmaline is the watermelon one. And Peridot is on the foot of the mare. So Peridot is the green one.
Whoa, looks like I did something right.
Whoa. Nancy. Duh. Alright, ready for some Indiana Jones stuff? Pull the lever, Nancy.
And we have liftoff. where Jake's mine is. Brimstone Canyon.
It was by Blue Moon
Don't you
Canyon.
look all excited. What's up?
I think I know where Jake's mine is. Tell the engineer to head for a place in Nevada called Brimstone Canyon.
Way to go! I knew you could do it, Francie.
Not Francie, Nancy.
Here's the deal. When we get there, I'm going to make sure that you get to be the first one to check out the mine. I'll call everyone together in the dining car, and while we're in there, you slip off the train. Will 10 minutes be enough of a head start?
That'd be great.
Think of it as your reward. Of course, anything you find in the mine is, well, mine. So if I find out that you've taken something without telling me, let's just say things could get ugly.
I wouldn't get your hopes up too high. The mine might be totally worthless, you know.
I know, but I have the feeling that thanks to you, we are about to discover something huge. Great job, Amy.
Thank you.
Nancy finding hidden treasure? That never happens. We are getting close to the end of the game here. Although how close kind of depends on this next part. Which could be a little long. Apparently you can't use special characters in the save game files.
Sounds like the train's leaving. Where's it going? Well, Frank and Joe will make sure it comes back for me. I hope.
They're like, finally, we're get rid of that Nancy lady. Fire! I busted eardrums. That was right after we went into John Gray's car for the first time and tried playing the piano, and he was like, "Ah, you hurt my ears. I was listening with my sensitive microphones." And I also accidentally minimized the game somehow, so I was like, I'm gonna save because I don't want to have to watch that 5-minute intro cutscene again.
Oh, right. This is the entrance to Jake's mine.
Mine?
Whoa, what's going on here? Jake's color wheel seems to be pointing toward purple.
Another weird coincidence that shouldn't be happening. Okay. So here's how this puzzle works. Chat, I'll break it down for you. This is much like, if you're familiar with the game Shadow Ranch, it's much like the puzzle at the end of that game, where the game says, okay, here's the solution, and you need to follow this solution to get through this maze area. Now what the game doesn't tell you is, if you just follow the directions and go from the start of the maze to the end of the maze, you'll get to the end and realize, oh wait, I need some other stuff to get to the end of the game. I have to go back into this maze and explore basically all the other side passages anyway. So, yeah, why did they give you a path to follow if you're just gonna have to deviate from it anyway? That's
wow,
the part that confuses
glowing
me.
lizards. Cool, but weird.
Yeah, that's a little weird too. Like how that cannon that was sat out there probably in the rain and stuff for 40 or 50 years or more, you know, just happens to work perfectly fine the second somebody tries to shoot it. You know, what if a snake had crawled down the cannon and made a nest or something? So, anyway, so for this puzzle, yeah, see, so what we're supposed to do is go purple, which is this way, but we need to go down every single one of these side passages and explore
I
them.
wonder what that's doing there.
And we need to write them down. Otherwise, we won't be able to solve the final puzzle.
Another symbol. Jake must have made those symbols. The question is, why?
Okay, so cactus is one. Fire is 2. Snake is 3. Whatever the hell that thing is number 4. Fish and bat. Okay, so now we need to go around and find all of those things. So we already found the fish. That was that first symbol. And I think the one in this room counts towards the fire one, because this is in the room with the fire. So I'm going to write fire by that one. So we're still missing 4 symbols.
Whoa!
Parkour. Good job, Nancy.
I can't get through here. I can't get through here.
Think small thoughts, Nancy.
Whoa!
Okay, I think this is the rock. So that's... rock with a rope on it. Yeah, like, are these like actual lizards, or like how would these lizards still be here in the exact same spots they were 100 years ago? Let's go down. And there's the snake, which is the rocking horse. So we need 2 more. One of them should be up here. I can't get through there. Oh, there's our buddy the cactus. Looking like somebody off a freaking VeggieTales. Yeah, what if the rocks died? I mean, yeah, I've heard of erosion, right? Secret basement floor. Oh, that doesn't look ratchet at all. Okay, so then the last one is up here at the end. So yeah, see, this thing we didn't even need to follow at all. Mine.
Uh-oh. There's some kind of chamber on the other side of those poles. But if I move the wrong one, the ceiling will collapse. Jake was too meticulous not to have left a clue somewhere as to how you're supposed to move them. I wonder if it has something to do with those symbols I saw before.
Okay, so first is the cactus, which is the This
I've
one.
seen that symbol before.
Sure have.
Okay, so far so good.
I will show you what happens if you mess
I
up, though.
think I made a boo-boo.
So yeah, if you pull even one in not the correct order, the whole
Okay,
thing
so
collapses.
far so good.
Then next is fire, which is the T shape. Snake is the rocking horse. The rock thing is the little this. The fish was swimming around in this one. And then the bat was
I
by
should
this
be able
one.
to get through there now.
Are you sure, Nancy? You weren't too sure about that earlier, but yeah, let's go into our second to last scene of the game here, folks. Minecart.
Jake Hurley, I presume?
Dr. Livingston, I presume.
Camille. It figures he'd be carrying a picture of her.
Sure does.
There's something underneath it. Looks like a letter. April 14th, 1865.
Really, Nancy, you're not going to read this one? Okay. 1865. My dear friend Jake. Believe me, Jake, my boy, I can think of nothing more pleasant than touring the West aboard your private train. But much as I would like to accept your invitation, the duties and responsibilities of my office forbid it. I cannot leave Washington until this terrible war is over and the states are united once more. I would scarcely leave my office at all these days.
Your humble friend, Abe.
At all, if it were not for Mary. Tonight, at her insistence, I will be accompanying her to the Ford Theater to see a comedy called Our American Cousin. Have you seen it? Mary assures me that I will enjoy it, despite the fact that for some strange reason I've never felt at ease when at the theater. Perhaps tonight will be different. Write to me soon. Your missives never fail to boost my spirits. Your humble friend, Abe.
Oh my gosh. This is from Abraham Lincoln. And April 14th is the day he was assassinated. This letter must be worth a fortune.
That's just what I thought, too. See, what I didn't tell you when I gave you that letter Jake wrote to Ruth is that I also found his diary, which is how I found out he'd gotten to be friends with President Lincoln, and that he'd gotten a letter from Abe that he knew would be so valuable someday that he always kept it on his person. Can I have it?
Sure.
No, you can't, because you're a
See,
suspect.
I knew if we could just
said
find
Nancy,
Jake's body,
doing the
we'd
smart
find
thing.
the letter. And you did it, Amy. You did it. I'm going to be famous. Good famous for once.
So you never really cared about finding Jake's mine?
Nah. I mean, it would have been nice if it was filled with gold and silver and stuff, but this is what I was really after.
And you followed me because you didn't trust me?
I trusted you to find it. I just didn't trust you to give it to me. And now that you have, you know, I'd really, really be famous if I could say I found this all by myself. But even
Yeah,
if
but
I
nobody
got you
would
to
believe
lie
you.
for me, how do I know you'd keep lying? Oh my gosh. What if there was like this cave-in and we were trapped, but I was the only one who made it out?
Excuse me?
Oh
Did
my
you just
gosh!
say to me?
That way I could not only say that I found the letter, but that I tried to save you. Only you did something stupid, and it was all I could do to save myself.
I think it'd be more
Oh my
believable
gosh,
the other way
I'd
around,
make the
so why don't
national
you give me
news
the
for
letter?
sure, and people would say I was smart and resourceful and courageous even.
Lori, you can't be serious. That's crazy.
You don't understand. People are finally going to respect me. I have to do this. Sorry.
Lori! The opening's blocked. I'm trapped. Now how am I gonna get out of here?
See? That's what she did. Well, what to do?
I'm done with that. Check. Finish that. Still have to do that.
Really?
Haven't done that yet.
Haven't found Jake's mine?
Finish that. Finish that. I'm done with that. Check. Check. I'm done with that.
What's your favorite Nancy's checking off noise?
Check. I'm done with that. I'm done with that. Check. Finish that. I'm done with that. I'm done with that. Check. Check. Finish that. I'm done with that. I'm done with that. I'm done with that. Finish that. Finish that. I'm done with that. Check. Finish that. Finish that. I'm done. Finish. Finish. Check. Check. Finish that. I'm done with that. Finish that.
I think my favorite is the one from one of the earlier games.
I'm done with
where
that.
she says check.
Finish
but she
that.
just says it so
I'm done.
fast. It's like
Finish
sounds like
that.
it has an A instead of a E.
Check. Finish that. Check. Check. I'm done with that. Finish that. I'm done with that. Finish that.
Alright, the only thing I still have to do is find Jake's mine. I wonder where it is. No, it's like the second time. I was thinking about playing on senior
Maybe I could get
objective,
out of
but I
here
was
in
like,
this.
well, in case it gets stuck, I don't want to have to like look up a guide or something. So I probably could have played senior though. Honestly, I really only had to look at it like twice. So. Well, here we go. This reused from the golf section in Old Clock, or you know, stolen from Indiana Jones, one or the other. I wonder what that skull means. I want to see what happens if I mess up on the second one. I have to restart still.
Oh no, I've stopped. I'll never get out of here now.
Get out and walk, Nancy? Okay. Well, I'm not gonna go. I'm not gonna show every death on this because we'd be here all day redoing it, so. Let's just get out of here. Oh, I'm sure there are some pretty creative ones.
Lori, are you all right?
Nancy! Is everything okay?
It is now.
As soon as we discovered you and Lori weren't on the train, we jumped off and hightailed it back here.
What the heck's going on?
I'm sure Lori will be glad to tell you all about it.
Darn you, Natalie!
It's Nancy. Dear Hannah, some hostess Lori Gerard turned out to be. When her father heard that she'd tried to seal me up in that mine, He canceled all her credit cards and said that from now on, Lori'll have to support herself. She has yet to stop crying. Tino Balducci told reporters that he knew what Lori was up to all along and said he let Frank, Joe, and me solve the case so we amateurs could enjoy his limelight. Joe was just about to belt him when a big argument broke out between John Gray and Charlena over whether John had really recorded Camille's ghost. She started calling him a crackpot, and then he started calling her a hack. Then, well, let's just say that soon the press was no longer interested in what Tino had to say. As for Jake Hurley, it turns out that his letter from Abe Lincoln is worth a small fortune. Pretty ironic, huh? Jake spent his whole life searching for gold, when all along he possessed something far more valuable. His uncanny knack for making friends. Love, Nancy.
Come here. You want your Cheerios? I'll help you in a second. Congratulations on the you move on the title of Candy Dancer. Okay. I'll take it, I guess.
Have you ever been to Paris, France? Well, preparez-vous, because that's where my next mystery adventure takes place. I'm going to be the assistant to Minette, a famous fashion designer. I'll be working undercover to find out why she's been acting so peculiar lately, throwing tantrums, firing people. She's even started wearing a mask for no apparent reason. Her studio is in this spooky-looking, centuries-old moulin. That's French for windmill. Of course, that doesn't have anything to do with her strange behavior. Or does it? Only one way to find out. Help me solve my next case. Danger by design. À la prochaine!
Alright, well, that's the end of that mystery. Next up, we'll be going to France. Yeah, that's a pretty fun one. Yeah, we managed to finish in about 3 hours, so. Yeah, I think it definitely helps if you know what you're doing on this one. First playthroughs definitely would not be 3 hours, but it helps that I've seen people do this one, so. Yeah, thanks everybody for stopping by, and this will probably be up on YouTube in a day or two if you didn't catch all of it, but yeah, thanks for watching, and I guess we'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.